Okay. So being a female fan in F1, I've never had like seen any issues, seen any problems. Um, like when I go to races, I've always like felt like included, like there's never really been a problem. And it wasn't until like the past 2 years that I started to see online more of comments of people like women saying, "Oh, I went to a race and this happened or this happened." And I had never seen that before. So I don't know if maybe that's obviously that's just my experience. So I don't know if maybe
Mm.
now with so many new fans, it's kind of harder. Like fans are just kind of having trouble finding their place, or maybe they're like more open, now that with social media being even bigger now. Um, and maybe, people are having issues with that, but I've never had a problem like feeling included or watching something. I mean, when I started watching, we had Susie Wolf with Williams. So I never went in thinking like, oh, this isn't inclusive to women because we had Claire Williams as the principal for Williams. We had Susie Wolf. And there was women on Sky Sports all the time. So I never really saw that like lack of women in the sport for me.
No, that's really good. And how
Mhm.
about you, Alison?
Well, um, I honestly, same with Lynette. Like, I haven't had any sort of like negative experiences at the races. Um, I think as we've kind of entered into this sports media world, now that we have a podcast, on the content creation side, I do feel as though we get a little bit more pushback from male followers on how much we know or what our knowledge is on Formula One. Like they do get really picky about the things that we post, where I feel like if it was a guy posting it, they probably wouldn't be as like, ridiculous. But I mean, for the most part, like I've felt like we've done, a pretty good job of entering the space. And um but I do think that there's this stigma around Formula One drivers being sexualized by women
Yeah.
and in the sport. And I think that that sort of turns guys off. Like, oh, here's like two girl fans. They just like love to, have crushes on all the drivers or whatever. And so I think that that's the initial thought when women come into Formula One is like, oh, like which driver do you like,
Yeah, do
have a
you
crush
like
on?
Leclerc or do you like Gasly? Which
Yeah,
one
yeah.
is it? Because it has to be one of them, type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
stupid.
So, and that it is what it is. Like, we're married women, like we're good. Like, we're not looking for that. We actually really do like enjoy the racing and like talking about it. And we watch religiously. I think if we were, just in it for like, a little like crush or a little like, rom-com thing, it would have died out by now. But yeah, I mean, I think for sure, like I've seen some pushback more on like the social media side of things, with the content creation, but we're just trying our best. Like we we tell our followers, like, learn with us. Like, you have questions, we don't know the answer, we'll try to figure it out. So it's an exploratory podcast. And we post a lot of like educational videos as well, and we learn about the topics as we're creating the content. So it's fun, and we like that side of it. I think that I have found it to be almost a step up over others, being able to like say that we're women in motorsport, but I mean, we kind of are, like, we're reporting on it. So
Yeah.
we're not racing, but we are kind of in the industry now. And so being able to like use that to our advantage and say like, hey, like we can offer you like a different perspective. Let's, collaborate or work together. And so partnerships have come a little bit easier, I think, because of that. And so honestly, I think it's been a great advantage for us.
Nice.
And we're just learning and trying to figure it all out. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh, and
awesome.
the F1 Academy stuff. I totally agree with you guys. Where are they?
Yeah,
Like what's happening?
exactly.
I've seen some of, I mean, we obviously see it on our feeds
Yeah.
because we scroll through, and like see the news, but other than that, like I don't see any of the races.
As an average viewer, I don't think anybody even knows what's going on or has heard, you know, they probably just heard that original announcement about the Academy and then that's it. You know, now what?
It's a huge
I think it's easier to be it's easier to be like in content creation, media, marketing as a woman, as a racer.
Yeah. And one of the things like I don't want, like it feels kind of forced, you know, like Formula One's like, well, we have to do this, you know, to make people happy. And to me, it's like you either do it right or don't do it at all. You know, I don't want to feel like, oh, let's have these girls in here because they're women and, you know, so they can drive and people will be happy. Like, no, I want a woman to be in there because she deserves to be in there. She's good. And, you know, not just, we had to do this, which is what it's feeling.
We don't want some girl driver to be driving for like Williams and like their second driver's seat just because like
and then she's bad and crashing and then it's gonna be worse for women.
Like let's just wait till a true talent comes and then push her forward and put her in a position where she can succeed. That's what I want to see. I don't need a whole academy to prove to me that women can drive. Find the best woman driver out there and see if she can compete on a serious level and give her a good car, decent car.